town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
I'm doing fine, spending some time with myself, my heart on the shelf. I bet every dime that something will get in the way, but I wait for that day. No, I never said that I'm a saint, but sometimes I just wanna play it safe, keeping my emotions locked away. It's been working for weeks. Right before you showed up, I've been running my mouth, I'm done with the love and lies. Then you came around and switched up my whole damn life. 'Cause you are the one I've been looking for, looking for. Oh, why does it happen to me when I don't expect to find something so good I've been loving lies that you came around and searching my whole damn life. Cause you are the one I've been looking for, looking for. Oh, oh. I've been running my mouth, I'm done with the loving lies that you came around and searching my whole damn life. Cause you are the one I've been looking for, looking for. Oh, oh. Why does it happen to me when I don't expect to find something so good that it couldn't be real life? Cause you are the one I've been looking for, looking for. I was a lonely silhouette, needed somebody to show the way. Yeah, I was a heartbeat with no sound till you came around. Yeah, you showed me colors, light in the darkness. You were the only thing I needed. Then we got older, but we stayed the same. Swear that we never lost the flame. Nostalgia, you're an echo in my head. Oh, nostalgia, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, nostalgia, don't you ever slip away. Oh, nostalgia, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, what if the years turn into gold? The longer we live, yeah, the more we grow. We could be 100 miles apart, but it's never far. Yeah, you show me colors, light in the darkness. You were the only thing I needed. Then we got older, but we stayed the same. Swear that we never lost the flame. No, nostalgia, you're an echo in my head. Oh, nostalgia, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, nostalgia, don't you ever slip away. Oh, nostalgia, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, nostalgia, don't you ever slip away. Oh, nostalgia, like a symphony of our memories. Oh, you cut my heart in a million pieces. Damn, why you gotta be so heartless? Why you gotta be so heartless? You cut my heart in a million pieces. Damn, why you gotta be so heartless? Why you gotta be so heartless? You got me like
heartless? Why you gotta be so heartless? You cut my heart in a million pieces. Damn, why you gotta be so heartless? Why you gotta be so heartless? You got me like stuck in the memories, holding on to the past, but I'm not your future. I think you know that. So tell all your friends that wasn't for all. You deleted my number, no more drunk calls. Our time has come and our time is gone. You're gonna find someone new.
Hello, how's it going? Sorry for the delay. I had a couple of things to do when I started. I wasn't going to stream today, but I thought, why not? We'll have a little chat and whatnot. Just nice little short chill stream. Anyway, a lot's kind of happened recently. I kind of lost a lot of motivation to stream, and I was kind of taking a break to just relax and recover and whatnot. I'm feeling a bit better now. I've kind of got I've just dropped a YouTube video yesterday, but I'm kind of thinking what to do for the next one. Honestly, like my head has just been all over the place the last few weeks, so I kind of need the break. But it's been alright. So I've kind of just been relaxing and trying to figure a few things out. I've been taking a break from League as well. I think I'm kind of getting to the point where I might actually just quit League. As much as I want to love the game, it kind of gets to a point where you have to make the decision of whether you want to put in the time and effort into something that isn't rewarding you for that time and effort. So Wu has been in an abysmal state for over a year now in the jungle. He's effectively been pro-jailed still. There's no buffs on the horizon for him. By their own words, he's just not achieving what he should be. By their words, at least Freak's words, he should be sitting at 52% top and 51% jungle, and he's 2% less than that in both roles. He's only being played by One Tricks, so if One Tricks can't achieve the win rate that Freak said he should be at, then it's not going to happen by having more people. He's had no jungle buffs since he got pro jailed, so effectively jungle is still pro jailed. His items are being hit. He's just in such a bad spot, and he's just not getting any support. And I've just got no motivation to sit there and try and like effectively put in double effort just to do as well as everyone else, just to fall off quicker than everyone else. Because he's just got nothing. He's got a double knock up for late game, and that's it. Like, his damage falls off because his Q is his only damage source. His E effectively just becomes a gap closer attack speed steroid. They just don't care. He's got no lore. Mediocre skins since, I think it was Underworld was the last one between that and Radiant. Let me see. Wukong skins. I think it came out 2017, was it? So Radiant was 2016. No, yeah. Underworld was 2014. So pretty much since Radiant, we've had 3 skins, and of those 3 skins, only Elderwood is somewhat decent, and that's because the way the skin is designed, it covers up a lot of Wukong's kind of visual issues, like his face, his legs, and his gauntlets. Yeah. But I've just got no motivation to play. Like, every time I see the patch notes, there's nothing for Wukong. They're just targeting the same champions over and over again for buffs and nerfs and adjustments. And then, like, I've just kind of realised that even though they've got... How many champions has League got? League of Legends, total champions. 168 champions in the game, and only 20 to 30 of those actually matter. Everything else is just irrelevant. Like, it's just... Surely, like, if you're going to make a game and you're going to focus on a set number of champions in that game, then you just don't fill it with like 5 times the amount of champions and keep pushing more and more, because it's all you've effectively got now. It's when you go onto League, you've got like 20 to 30 champions that are always in a good spot in the meta, always doing well, always popular, always picked, and then you've got like one-offs like Wukong, where he started to dominate in pro play in jungle, and they instantly gut him to the ground to the point where like you can't jungle with him anymore. And his top lane is just kind of like mediocre. Like, his top lane is essentially just a counter pick now. Like, he counters certain champions, but then he just gets shit on by other ones like Rumble and Gragas and stuff. So it's not even worth blind picking him into like most matchups. So yeah, I've just been taking a break from League, and as much like part of me misses playing the game, but then I know as soon as I go to play the game, I'm just gonna be disappointed, because like I said, I've got to put in more effort than if I played any other like if I go to u.gg, look at the top junglers right now. Tier list when it loads. So top junglers right now: Udyr, Fiddlesticks. Oh, there we are. Lilia, Shaco, Nidalee, Nocturne, Bel'Veth, Kha'Zix. Like, Bel'Veth has been S tier. She's floated around A, S, and S plus since her release, and they have done nothing to nerf her. She's constantly in a good spot. She's constantly like doing well, and like they don't do anything to punish her. Lilia has been like dominating for ages since the Fated Ashes. Like I've started to pick Lilia up at one point because it was just a brain dead pick where like you don't have to play well, you just kite your enemy, throw your abilities out, run all over the place, and then if they look like they're gonna kill you, then you just press R and run. Like it's just so stupid. And where's Wukong on the old? There we are, 37th place for junglers. The worst jungler right now apparently is Lee Sin at 50. He's ranked 51 for junglers. He's got a 49% win rate in the jungle, whereas Wukong's got a 48% and he's 20 ranks above him, which just doesn't make sense. I think it's literally just a matter that like more people are playing, because he's got a 16.2% pick rate and a 13.3% ban rate. Lee Sin has, and Wukong's 1.2% pick rate. Hey, how's it going, Calisonic? And he's got a 0.2% ban rate. He's in such a bad position right now, and they just don't seem to care. They don't want to do anything to fix him. Like, even if I switch to top, he's still... Where is he placed top? 38th. I'm alright. I've just been, like, taking a bit of break from social media a bit and league and everything. So, yeah. Wu is currently sitting at 0.9% pick rate top, which is a total of 2.1% across his two main roles. He's actually better as I believe it's a ADC or a support. You pick him into one of those roles, and then you take like a Senna or a Yumi or something that could just buff him and let him be super aggressive. That's the crazy thing. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably gonna quit a league the way it's going. Like, it's been, what patch are we on? So we're on 14.13. So 14.14 we've seen. So it's been 9 patches. 9 patches since Wukong got buffed. And he still needs more buffs, and he hasn't received any. It's like, yeah. And then they've just announced for the fighting game, they've just, what is it, 2KXO champions. So they've announced more champions for 2KXO, which is the fighting game. But it is so disappointing. So the confirmed ones we've got is Ahri, Darius, Jinx, Katarina, Echo, Illaoi, Yasuo, and they've just announced Braum. And like I said on Twitter, like, can you not just like pick less popular champions or champions that haven't appeared in media already? Like, if you look at the list of champions, right, you've got Ahri, Illaoi, Yasuo, and Braum are 4 champions that appeared in Ruination. Why do we need a fighting game where you've got 4 of the 6 champions you can play in the Ruination story game, RPG, whatever you want to call it? Why do we need 4 of them in the fighting game? Why can't you pick other champions? You've got a roster of 168 champions, and you pick the same 20 champions for everything. Like, Echo had a spin-off game. He's in the fighting game. Katarina's popular. Jinx was in Arcane, and he's popular. Darius is popular. Just like, where's like the flexibility with champions? Like, You've got champions that like Shaco, whose law is like he doesn't have law, and you could easily put them in to give them a bit of like spotlight. Like Shaco's a popular champion as well, and he doesn't have any law. But like you could put him in the fighting game to give him a bit more popularity. But yeah, I don't know. Because the thing is as well, I noticed one of the reasons I kind of went on a break was like I kind of noticed that um about a week or two ago I noticed that some like rioters have me like blocked on Twitter, and I'm sitting there just like it's rioters that I haven't really communicated with, and I'm just like all I've ever done when it comes to communicating with Riot is try to make ask for Wukong buffs or adjustments and make suggestions. It's not like I'm being super toxic or anything. It's just kind of upsetting, to be honest, that rather than listen to listen to the community, they'd rather just block 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 community members. I don't know. It's like they just don't care. They're just gonna keep pushing their like boring same 20 champions over and over, and then everyone's just gonna slowly leave because like you're only pushing the same 20 champions and not everyone plays those 20 champions. Honestly, least I don't know. I might actually just switch back to Dota at this point because I want to play. Like I still want to play a MOBA, right? But like, don't know. It's just I feel like you get nowhere with Riot. Like you can like you've got no way to kind of like reach out to them to like request stuff or like make suggestions. Like literally when we had the when I got the Wukong community to like come on stream and like discuss Wukong's state, I put together a list of like what we actually wanted. We kind of settled on like a list of several changes and adjustments and stuff we'd like to see. And the only way I could send it to Riot was by opening a ticket and then putting it in the ticket and asking if they could pass it on. There's like, because you can tweet at them, but none of the rioters, like Freak doesn't use social media anymore because he got bullied off it. But when you speak negative, like the problem with like the Freak situation was like he probably does know what he's saying, right? But it's the way you say stuff, because he always comes across as very like condescending and stuff, like he's talking down to the community. Like, yes, you may know better due to your experience and knowledge, but like there's better ways to communicate to, because we're the consumers at the end of the day. We're the customers, and like if you cannot speak correctly to your customer, you're just going to annoy your customer, which is what happened. And then you got bullied off Twitter essentially. So now like you've got no way to like contact or try and contact Freak when it comes to like balance issues. If you've got a bug, you have to do it through the client, and 9 times out of 10 the bugs don't get fixed unless it happens in like one of the unless it happens in pro play. It's just like they don't want to listen to the community, and they don't want to have communication with the community unless you're like a popular streamer with like a lot of viewers and stuff. They don't want to listen. They don't care about you, which is just annoying, because like I think you really like especially when it comes to like any sort of changes to champions, you should really be like, I don't know, go into Reddit to speak to, like, say for example they made some Udyr changes, you'd go speak to the Udyr one tricks, whether that's on Reddit, whether that's on Discord, whether that's on Twitter. You know, you open up that means of talking to like Udyr one tricks or like any other champion if you're gonna make changes to a champion, because there's a lot, like, it doesn't matter about, you know, having like 200 plus years of collective game design knowledge. We're the people playing the game, and if we aren't satisfied with something, you should be listening to our concerns. Yes, okay, so not every concern is going to be valid, right? You are going to get a lot of situations where someone's just basically like moaning for the sake of moaning instead of actually providing like valid arguments. But like you need to have like community managers to manage that. Have community managers that people can reach out to make suggestions when it comes to like champions getting adjusted and stuff, because some of the changes they do is so bizarre and don't do anything. Like look at the first lot of Wu buffs we got, where his Q got slightly more damage and it got more range early on. Like, it was a good change because it gave him more damage and range early on, but it only really helped in the jungle, because it now meant when I'm moving from one camp to another, because I'm spamming my Q a lot in the jungle, I'm doing more damage, so I'm clearing slightly faster, and then because of the range increase, I can move further away from the camp to kite it to the next camp, so I can move closer to the next camp and then kill the previous camp with the Q range. That helped jungle more than it helped top. Like top, yes, you had like slightly more range so you could poke and you do a bit more damage on trades, but you're not really trading much as Wukong in top until like level 3 anyway. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I don't know, like, I was hyped for the fighting game, but when like the entire roster is basically just the Ruination champs, and I guarantee like we're gonna see, with Arcane coming out later this year, we're probably gonna see Ambessa come into it, and we're probably gonna see Vi come into it, or maybe Warwick. I just want lore for my champion. I want lore. I want a decent skin. I want him to be in like a playable position. But the thing is, Bleach game. What game was that? Let me have a look. Bleach game. 2024. Rebirth. Is it Rebirth of Souls? Let's have a look. Bring it up. Let's have a look. Where's me? There it is. Turn it down a bit. Just throw me in the corner as well.
A strong blade. And enough strength to shatter fate.
Do you wish to save your family?
Just tell me how! I'll do anything!
You must become a Soul Reaper.
I just want to say it feels very weird hearing their English voices. I'm so used to hearing the Japanese. I mean, the music's good at least. I kind of want to see like some actual gameplay though. It looks like a fighting game right now, right? But it could be like a RPG. I don't know. I've got to say like proper gameplay first before I decide, because it looks like it could just be a fighting game, which isn't necessarily bad, because I don't know if you remember them, Bleach, Brave Souls. I used to have these games on. That's Rebirth. Is it Brave Souls? No, not Brave Souls. Brave Souls is the Android mobile game, isn't it? Bleach, PSP games. I remember it was on PSP. I used to play these on PSP. Hey, how you doing, Finn? They were like such good games, and the thing was like you could buy them in Japanese, right? But so much of the actual game was in English. Yeah, Brave Souls is the mobile. It was Heat the Soul, that was it. So you had Heat the Soul 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Soul Carnival, and then Heat the Soul 7. But they were such good games. And they were just like simple fighting games. But if it's like a mix of like essentially where you've got like RPG elements, so you're like running around fighting like masses of hollows and stuff, and then you go into like various like one-on-one fighting, then it could be good. But we gotta see some like gameplay before I make my mind up. Yeah, the Brave Souls was not a Brave Souls. Heat the Soul was really good though. It was I think I had about 4 or 5 of them, but because I brought them in Japanese, but not like 90% of the game was in English, so like you could like easily understand most of it. It was great. But yeah. I'll have to wait and see with this, but it could be good. It could be good. What's I gonna look at now? I want to see if there's any new Black Myth stuff as well. Skeptical look. Could be interesting. It's 28 minutes though. Gaming Ball. I don't call it a Souls-like. Okay. Yeah, man, we got so much information recently. I've just dropped a video earlier tonight that goes over it. But essentially, the game's going to involve like time travel and stuff. So you're going to be able to go and fight enemies in the past and the future. And if you say you defeat an enemy in the past, then it will no longer appear in the future. And I think what we're going to see is potentially certain enemies are going to be like stronger in the past or stronger in the future. I'm kind of looking at it as like, so imagine you've got like this enemy in the past and they're kind of like, they're young, they're inexperienced, they don't know what they're doing, and then you fast travel, like you travel, time travel, fast travel, whatever you want to call it. You go into the future and you find that same enemy, and now they're like old, they're wiser, they know what they're doing. I think it's gonna be like, yeah, I can't wait, honestly. The fact that there's time travel and multiple endings, it's gonna have so much replayability. They said as well that with the actual maps themselves, it's not. So, from what we've seen so far, it's quite linear, but that's not the case with all maps. So you've got some places are going to be quite linear, others are going to be kind of open world, and others are going to be like a miniscape, kind of like Sekiro and Elden Ring, stuff like that. Well, not Elden Ring, Dark Souls. So like, kind of like semi-open world, but linear at the same time. So, should be good, should be good. I'm definitely looking forward to the game, though. Wait, they're doing God of War Egypt. That could be interesting. Man, I could not wait for Black Myth, though. It's going to be such a good game. Let's put a quick video on about it. Let's sort by this week. When is it going to be like the first video? I want to watch it, but it is 20 minutes. You know what, we'll give some informative
We first started using
feedback.
Fiverr when we grew frustrated with the speed and cost of voice actor agencies.
Well, everyone, I am back from vacation, and I want to talk about video games, because the whole time I was on vacation, I was surrounded by people that don't play video games and that don't like talking about video games. About know what this game is. It is an upcoming fantasy adventure game coming in the middle of August, set to release on the PlayStation 5 and PC. It is allegedly also coming to Xbox, however, they delayed the release of that version of the game, presumably because they can't get it running on the Series S. Don't come at me.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's what I've heard.
Now, just the other day, we made a video on my second channel, Luke Stevens Live, where I talked about this game and some of the speculation with it, some of the people that are like calling for it to be canceled, and all sorts of stuff that we'll get into later in this video. And in the comment section of that Luke Stevens Live clip that we posted, somebody was asking me, hey, when are you going to make a skeptical look video for Black Myth Wukong, because you tend to do it for big upcoming games? And so I said, that's a good idea. I should just do that, which is what this video is. And the goal of videos like this is simply to explore games that are up and coming, that have a lot of potential, and try to look at both sides of the equation for the game, the good and the bad. Because I personally don't think that blind hype gets you anywhere.
Kind of want to say, like, because obviously, like, for me, I'm going to look at it from a kind of like a semi-biased, if not completely biased view, because it's a game that I want to play. So I'm probably going to be ignoring a lot of the kind of negatives. So it is kind of nice to see kind of a more neutral standpoint of someone who like probably wants to play the game but wants to kind of be fair as well. There's also okay. Yeah, I think they pulled a few things from it for that.
Hyped for something, it's only going to disappoint you because no game is perfect. No game will ever meet that standard. Instead, you should look at the positives and the negatives, try to have a more reasonable expectation for what the game is going to deliver, and then play it and have a great time. Black Myth Wukong looks to be an extremely polished, graphically stunning action adventure.
It does look really good.
With
Even the
boss
fast trailer we got.
Rival some of the top Souls-like games.
Like
in
the fast
industry.
trailer
Though
we got
they don't
for
like
it was
being
like
called a
crazy
Souls-like
good.
game. They want to be called like action adventure. Well, you know, we'll get into it. But the point is, the game is trying to do a lot, and it's coming from a relatively unknown studio, which is why I think a video like
they are trying to like steer away from being classed as a Souls-like, because they're not. Essentially, the game isn't a Souls-like. It just has some Souls-like qualities in it, but you can argue as well that those Souls-like qualities are in other action RPGs. Like, for example, like healing mechanics, dodging mechanics, enemies respawning when you rest or when you die. It's all stuff that's quite common in Souls-likes, but you do find it in other action RPGs as well. So I think originally when they announced the game, a lot of people did class it as like a Souls-like, whereas that's just not the case.
Like this is helpful, just to explore this and look at it more critically without just blindly getting ourselves super hyped. However, I will say that at the end of this, I think the conclusion is still gonna be the game looks really good, and I think you're right to be excited.
No worries,
I'm
man,
not seeing a lot of
it.
like red flags or warning signs for this actually being terrible. I've called a lot of awful games in the last couple of years and a lot of mediocre games, much to the chagrin of people that were really hyped for them. But with this, it just seems to be a really promising game from an upcoming developer that hasn't made something in this
promising
category
game
before, hasn't broken into the AAA console space before, and it looks like they're just gonna have a really good game on their hands. But again, we'll go through all of this. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. That actually does
I'll drop
and
the
make sure to subscribe so you get more videos like this of me rambling
if anyone does want
more
to
often,
check
which
it
is
out
good.
or
I also have a big 8-hour Starfield
you know what, I'll put it in the wrong
video
one.
coming out later this week.
I got like 2
At least
chats.
That's the plan.
There we
if
are.
we can clear up this copyright problem that popped up with it. But once that clears up, it'll go up for everybody. So again, subscribe for that. But with all that said, let's get into a discussion about Black Myth Wukong. But first, a thank you to our sponsor, the one and only Holzkern. Holzkern is the luxury accessory brand that makes things for men, women, watches, sunglasses, even wooden handbags
get yourself a nice
that are
watch,
all
man.
built to
I
highlight
picked one up myself.
a tie with nature using materials.
2
that
months
you
ago,
wouldn't
I was
typically
like,
find
I want a
in
nice
jewelry of
watch
this
to
type,
wear. Like
such as
sometimes when
very
I go
rare
out and that.
woods and even stone. I actually got
And,
myself a beautiful
had to get myself a nice,
watch,
like, simple,
which
nice
is
looking watch
just
for it.
gorgeous. This is made of koa wood and stainless steel, and it is as
That
eye-catching
is a
as
nice
it
watch,
is
though.
comfortable and beautiful. I can't stop gushing about it. I actually wore this watch out to my birthday dinner that we recently had with some friends, and I had 3 different people, one from our friend group and 2 strangers at one of the bars we went to, comment on this watch because they thought it looked so luxurious and premium, because frankly it is. So whether you're looking for a statement piece of jewelry that's going to catch eyes and start conversations, or you're looking for something to really differentiate yourself and express your unique creative side, Holzkern almost certainly has something for you. Furthermore, Holzkern offers a 24-month warranty on all of their watches, bandlets, and jewelry, and a 25-day money-back guarantee.
I do like, you know, with watches when you can see like the actual mechanisms inside, you see them moving about and stuff. It always entertains my small brain.
all the products. They are just that confident that you're gonna love it. And most people do. After they were founded in 2016, they have already served over 1 million customers worldwide. And after getting one myself, I get why. Check them out at the link in the description box below or in the pinned comment, or scan the QR code here, and make sure to use my coupon code to save 10% off of your order site-wide. Okay, with that said, let's get into it. Like I said at the top, I think Black Myth Wukong looks fantastic. The animation quality is stellar. The particle effects, I think, are top of the industry right now. Literally, I can't think of a game that has better particle effects in it.
Yeah, it's really nice particle effects, to be fair. If only
a real-time
ads.
action adventure game like this. It really is impressive. The set piece design is really impressive. The individual bosses are varied and very creative on top of it. And the combat system.
The thing is as well with the bosses, there's over 80 bosses, right? And we've only seen, I think, about 7 or 8 of them. So and most of those are like early game bosses. So yeah, we've got so much left to see. It's crazy.
To a casual observer on the outside who hasn't played it, looks really, really good. But also to people who have actually gotten their hands on the controller and tried the game, it apparently feels really good to play as well.
Yeah,
and you
I've
know
heard
me, it's all about
really
how it
smooth, how it
feels.
plays.
That's crucial. Now, they've shown a lot of this game, even some like reveals such as this, which honestly, I think they could have kept secret. This is just like totally badass and cool. Big ass dragon you fight on a frozen lake. It's freaking cool. It's awesome. Look how fluid this thing is. It's outrageous. But they've shown a lot. The only things they haven't really delved into a whole lot is what you do between the boss
that
fights,
attack, man.
which I have just been referring to as like the connective tissues. So, you know, if you think of the game's bosses as being like bones in a creature, I want to know what the connective tissue is. Like, what holds the bones together? What holds this up? And
see, they have kind of shown a bit of this, but it's mainly with the recent demo that people got to try. Where they got to play, I believe it was Hefeng Mountain. So they could travel up the mountain. There was like, from what I remember, there was like 3 routes they could take. And each like kind of slowly led up the mountain. But I heard positive things about it, so it at least for Hefeng Mountain, it's gonna be decent. We'll have to see with other larger maps and stuff, because obviously Hefeng Mountain's kind of a more linear map, whereas, as I said earlier, there is more open world and more open world maps. So yeah, well, hopefully they do populate it enough, but not like, because you don't really want to be in a situation where they underpopulate it or overpopulate it. You just want that nice right amount of like enemies and stuff. I think like if you look at Elden Ring with the, I forgot what the first bit of the map is called, but that area itself, I'd say is like pretty well populated. It's not like underpopulated and it's not overpopulated. So something like that where you've got like a nice amount of NPCs roaming about and stuff
allows it to function the way that it does. Things like the combat system are there, but I want to know, like, what are you physically doing between boss fights? Are you running through narrow passageways? Are there just load screens where you load from one area to the next to fight a boss? Like, how does this work? And I'm okay with either of those. I think if this game just has really, really impressive top of the industry boss fights and you just load into each one of them and that's why you're playing.
So that would make it more of like a boss rush, but they've also said that it's not going to be a boss rush. It's mainly going to, there is a lot of bosses, but it's not going to be a boss rush. At least that's what they've said.
I'm down for that. I'm not expecting this to be like Elden Ring, open world adventure, whatever, mixed in with boss fights. I'm not expecting that. But I just don't know what that connective tissue is, because in all of the preview events or demos that I've heard people describe playing, they've played individual boss fights, and then they have somebody come in, load them into a second area to fight a different boss, and then they load to another area to fight another boss, because that's what really sells this game, which I totally understand. But I want to know what you're doing between those fights. There's been a couple of interviews here and there where the devs have said that there are levels that you'll explore on your way to boss arenas, but again, we just don't have a really good idea of what, say, 2 hours of non-stop uninterrupted gameplay looks like. The one exception to that was that IGN, VGC, and another outlet, maybe GameSpot, got to play 2 hours of Black Myth Wukong at Summer Games Fest as sort of an extended demo. This was the race. Where they got to try the first 2 hours of the game. But in those preview events and the reporting on the 2 hours that they spent playing, they're not allowed to, of course, show their own B-roll or anything that they captured.
Yeah, this was the one thing that kind of is a bit of a downer, because like they could have, if they could show their own B-roll, we'd actually get to see a lot more of like the game. But I know Game Science is trying to keep the game like they're trying to keep it down to a minimal, so there's going to be like a lot of surprises for us and stuff. So I understand why they wouldn't want them to use their own B-roll.
And furthermore, they also don't really discuss anything about the connective tissue. They just say, yeah, the combat's good and the boss fights are good, so there's just not much to know. They know what the first 2 hours are like, but we still don't really know much of anything about it. You'll also see some comments if we scroll down. IGN doesn't even deserve to review this game. Still no apology for the intentional mistranslation.
Yeah, this is... I do feel kind of bad for Game Science after, like, because IGN basically slated them over some false information. And then straight after, like, literally 2 days after they posted their hands-on impression with the first 2 hours, it's like, wow, great way to handle it, IGN.
And IGN's apparently deleting some comments, all sorts of stuff like that. You might be wondering what those comments are about, and let's just say we'll get to it. Now, having said that, a lot of people have gotten their hands on the game, have tried it, and have had nothing but positive things to say about it. And actually, Joe Raptor, who I co-host a podcast with, the Free Roam podcast on Spotify, you should check it out if you're interested. He actually got the chance to try Black Myth Wukong at Gamescom last year. That's right. Last year. And this is something that is true of many journalists and content creators out there, which is that this game has been playable at many venues for years. They have been very open and welcoming towards people wanting to try the game, and just...
Yet they won't release a demo. I just want them to release a demo on PC so I can play it, because you know I will be there. I will play it so much, even if it's just like a 10-minute demo. I will like look into every detail of that 10 minutes. I will just replay the hell out of it to try and find every intricate detail.
Just see if it is as good as it looks. And everybody who's tried it agrees that it looks and plays that well. And here's where I'm at with that. Like, there are, of course, exceptional cases like Cyberpunk 2077, where a lot of content creators got access to that game early, played it, and hyped it up even more, and then it ended up being a total disaster. But that was just that. It was an exceptional example. It's an exception to the rule. 99% of the time, when everybody unanimously agrees that a game is either really good or really bad, it's probably because it is really good or really bad. If everybody agrees that a game is a 0 out of 10 dumpster fire, chances are it's a dumpster fire. In the same way that if everybody agrees that a game is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, like an Elden Ring or a God of War Ragnarok or a Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, chances are it's because that game actually is a masterpiece on the whole. Like, that's just generally a fair assumption to make, I think. And in this case, everybody who plays this game says that it's phenomenal. And so barring some sort of really bizarre occurrence akin to what we have with Cyberpunk, that probably is a good indication that the game just plays really, really well and probably will be pretty good. With a lot of skeptical look.
It's all positive stuff so far. That's what we like to hear. That's what we want to hear.
Videos that I've done on this channel, we don't actually get the chance to delve into the nitty-gritty of people's perceptions of the game. Like, for example, when I did a skeptical look video at Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, when I did that video, nobody had really been openly allowed to play the game. There weren't any open betas or previews for press or content creators. The only people that got the chance to play the game early were select journalists who reviewed the game very poorly and 3 streamers that were paid to play the game. And because they were paid, they weren't allowed, obviously, to badmouth the game or provide any, let's just say, constructive feedback in that session or period, because they had received compensation for playing the game and sharing it with their audience. So there wasn't really any honest feedback.
I think that would be the worst scenario for me. Like, imagine getting paid to play a game and the game being like extremely bad, and you've got to sit there, you've got to try and be entertaining for your audience, but like you're just not having a good time because the game is that bad. Yeah, it would be rough. It'll be rough. But yeah, thankfully, Black Myth, it's going to be good, man. At least from what they've said so far.
Feedback to garner from any of that, other than the journalists who played it at that preview event, which was a bit of a disaster for Warner Brothers. But in the case of Black Myth Wukong, we actually have years of examples of people playing the game and having nothing but positive things to say about it, which is very, very promising, and I think goes a long way to suggesting that this game actually is as impressive as it looks. The only real potential hiccup for this is the fact that the developer is relatively unknown. If you aren't familiar with them or haven't heard of them, they are a studio called Game Science, and previous to this game, they actually have put together things like mobile games that apparently have just printed money and made ridiculous sums of cash. And they've taken a lot of that money and they've decided to go and break into the AAA console game space.
It's not just that. They've done, there was a game before, it was an MMO, Azure Online, I think it was called. It was their, like, original game. And from what I remember, it was pretty decent. It didn't, well, it's not around anymore, but the graphic, like, visually, if you look at like the cutscenes and stuff, it looks very similar to Black Myth.
And bring a big game like this to PC as well. And as you can see, you know, Game of the Year, Best of 2017 App Store, like they've made mobile games, they made a lot of money doing it. And so now apparently they're just looking to stretch their creative muscles, attract more talent by making a big game like this. And it actually seems to be working. So normally for me, the red flags would be monetization. If a company is mainly known for mobile games and then they come and try to make a console game, I would be worried about monetization. But as of right now, there is nothing disclosed. There's nothing that's been said.
I think they've said they're not planning. Originally they said they're not planning on monetization, but I know recently they have said they're looking to do DLCs once the game comes out, so you'll have some DLCs, but as to like whether it's going to be like story content or just like cosmetics or something, who knows. I'm assuming there'll be some like cosmetics for like DLC purchase, because you can get through the early access pre-orders, you can get an outfit.
About any sort of egregious monetization scheme. It doesn't look like they're doing anything like, you know, draw a card pack for $5 and then you fight the bosses you draw from that. Hope you get a legendary pull or something. There's nothing like that in the game as far as anybody is aware, so there's no reason to really ring the alarm or anything. Like there's just nothing like that in the game as far as anybody is aware. So yeah, that's good. One of my other concerns would be with like grind or graphical fidelity. If a company was previously known for mobile games of all things, those would be concerns I'd have. But
That's
again,
a fair
demonstrably,
concern.
Black Myth Wukong is not lacking in the graphics department. And in terms of grind, it just seems that there's a bunch of difficult boss fights that you can engage with and have fun with them. Like it just doesn't seem to be really in the same wheelhouse.
So I know there is a leveling system and a talent tree system. So I suppose your grind would mainly be there, but I don't think there's too many levels. And from what I remember from the recent 2-hour gameplay that people got to do, I remember they were talking about the stances, and one of the stances was locked behind like level, I think it's like level 8 or level 9, something like that. And a lot of people managed to get that stance during the 2 hours of play. So they went from, no, sorry, it's level 5. But in the game, I think it's going to be higher. But many people managed to go from level 1 to level 5 quite quickly. So I don't think there's going to be too much in terms of like levels. But we'll have to wait and see. I think as well with you being able to do like New Game Plus and stuff, it won't be too problematic because you can just do level up in New Game Plus as well
As their other games, which is abnormal typically when a mobile game developer moves into console or PC. Usually they just make basically mobile games for those platforms and they're really, really bad. But in this case, it actually does seem like they're making just a really solid game. Again, based on what we know now, maybe that'll change.
Yeah, there's going to be New Game Plus straight from the start of the game. So when there's multiple endings, New Game Plus, you're going to have time travel as well thrown in there, so you'll be like able to like fight bosses in the future and the past. So I'm assuming there's going to be like certain bosses that are locked to the future and certain ones that are locked to the past, or maybe like certain items and armor as like rewards and stuff. So having like multiple endings and New Game Plus from the get-go is a really good thing, because it's going to open up a lot of replayability.
Maybe they'll announce they're doing something incredibly stupid in the next few weeks. I don't know. But as of right now, there's no reason to think any of that is the case. And I mean, come on. They actually met with Tom Conks.
I'm not sure about a boss fight mode, because they've said that it's not really a boss rush. There is a lot of bosses in the game, but they have said that they're not like it's not meant to be a boss rush. It's more of like a action RPG. But I mean, it depends on how many, because I think it's going to be mission based, right? Or like, so I don't know, because it could be like mission based, or it could be like semi open world, kind of like Dark Souls, where, you know, if you're talking like Dark Souls 1, you've got like your base camp, but then from your base camp you can go to like, say, Hefeng Mountain. Through Hefeng Mountain you can get to the Flame Mountain, something like that, or you can go back, and then also from your base camp you can get to Lei Yin Temple, so something along those lines. If it's something like that, where it's kind of like semi open world, I think it could be quite good. If it's mission based though, where you literally just select a mission in a menu, or like from a like base camp or something, and then you travel to that area, it depends on how many bosses are, how many like mission areas there are, and how many bosses per area. Because I think when they did the Hefeng Mountain demo, there was, I think, 6 bosses, or five or 6 bosses, something like that. But some of them were like hidden, so you might not necessarily come across them unless you like do certain things. So we'll have to wait and see. But they've confirmed for a while now that New Game Plus is like something that's in the game from the get-go. So we'll at least be able to like replay and carry on once we do like the story.
Conks from Android, they met with him and he's here talking with them. I don't know, did they bring a mobile game or something to iPhone? Maybe. I don't know why he's there, but apparently, I mean, it's him. He's there. But Luke, haven't you heard? The studio.
You all know the rules. No real names.
Whose kid is she?
A very wealthy man who's about to be $50 million.
I don't know what this is, but it looks kind of interesting.
Something doesn't add up.
I'm sorry about what's gonna happen to you.
Oh.
We kidnapped a vampire.
I might have to watch that.
Recipes
It didn't
written
look
by
too bad,
friends.
to be
I
fair.
lost the time.
Is going to be canceled. They're terrible. You shouldn't support them, blah, blah, blah. Haven't you seen what their logo is? You must be talking about that IGN article that everybody in the comment section of that IGN preview were so upset about. Well, you see, to break this down, like I've gone back and forth on how to handle this because I frankly find the article to be fairly distasteful. And that's not a pun. That will make sense in a little bit. It's because, like, it doesn't seem, in my opinion, to have been written in good faith. It seems.
Yeah, I don't really want, like, I spoke a bit about this before in one of my previous videos, but it was a distasteful article. I believe it was IGN France that did it. They essentially, like, they took some, it's not Twitter, is it? There's like a Chinese version of Twitter. I can't remember what it's called though, but they took some messages, some of the game science developers had put on there and mistranslated them very poorly, so it came out as quite vulgar things, and then they basically used Google Translate for it, and it came out completely wrong and like vulgar, and they tried to use that as like 100% of what they're saying, and it just turned out not to be true. So they wrote like this hit piece article about it, and the information in it was just completely wrong because they failed to actually get a proper translator for it.
Seems that the authors decided that they wanted to attack game science for being sexist, and then they started hunting down evidence to support that conclusion, even going so far as to maybe bend some translations a little bit and be very uncharitable in some of the nitpicking and things that they've pulled out, and to even go so far as to really go out on a limb with the logo complaints. Again, this is very vague. Let's just clearly describe what we're talking about. So here I am.
I'm just gonna skip this bit because I'm not
to try
really interested in it.
And years ago, say some of the got options to it. If I were to make train, no, not questions.
It's just like trying to
like
cause drama without.
Can you translate the text in this image? No cut. You can see taking the translation or anything. Okay, it spits it out. So as you can see, the text that they translated was the snake spirit is different from what I imagined, but if I cover the bottom half with my hand, it's still possible to play with the snake. Let's just say you can read it yourself right there. If we pull this up, I'm holding it up like a boomer. You can see the snake.
The snake spirit is not exactly what I imagined, but it fits well within the context. It's acceptable. See, it's a completely like incorrect translation they used.
Snake spirit is not exactly what I imagined, but it fits well within the context. It's acceptable. Like two very different just seems like after I did that direct sent me this one right here from Garbage GG. Hey Luke, native Chinese humor, but Vol and 43 side was I just checks the acidic game.
Let's just
We're
skip
too-
this bit.
It's like go. Now, if
Okay, it goes on for quite a bit, so
honestly, at the end of all of this,
We'll just
I'm
get to
just
the
left
closing
feeling
thoughts.
as though this is a really cool game that looks really cool and seems to play really, really well, that everybody who touches really enjoys. And there are some people that are trying to like tear the game down for some reason that I'm not aware of. Maybe if you know, leave a comment. I might have missed an article or something, but I just don't know what they're complaining about, because everything that I've seen looks awesome, and I am excited to check out the game when August swings around. But let me know what you think of Black Myth Wukong. I'm sorry we had to talk so much about the stupid IGN thing, because it's it's like such a stretch. And in all of IGN's articles now about Black Myth Wukong, they link back to it. They're constantly referring back to it. It's like, stop trying to make fetch a thing. It's never going to be a thing. You know, that's the vibe it gives, is that they're just trying so hard to gin up some sort of controversy about the game for some reason. It's really, really bizarre. Again, if you know why, if you have any idea why, let me know in the comments, because I and a lot of other people, I'm sure, would like to know. Because I feel like there's something missing. Like there's some big piece of the puzzle that would explain why they're so hell-bent on trying to get the game canceled. You know, I just honestly don't get it. I feel I'm just out of the loop. But anyway, thank you for watching. I am going to go to sleep because I just got back from vacation. I'm like a little bit more crispy, as you can tell. A little bit. I'm less sour cream. Or is it the lighting? Oh, no, that's tan, baby. That's tan right there. I didn't think I could tan, but apparently I can. So I just got back from vacation. We've been up since like...
it was a decent talk about the game. Let's go back to some more. I think it's gonna be good, man. I'm excited to see the mods that come out. Yeah, I think if they allow mods, it's gonna be like such a good game. Okay, so we got our let's have another quick look at some gameplay. I kind of want to. It's no just like pure gameplay, like. So one of the things I did want to look at, right, is in the original trailer they showed using the clones, right? And I'm sure it was about 10 clones he summoned, but I know there's like a version where he summons like 3 or 4, and I'm curious. So I know there's a skill tree. I'm curious whether like you have the regular like 3-4 clones, and then through the skill tree you upgrade it to get that bigger version. And then like you have the bigger version all the time then, because imagine you're like just like running through like an area to the next boss, and you've got like a pack of enemies to kill, and you just summon like 10 of your clones just to beat them up. I think it could be pretty interesting. I don't know. We gotta see what they're gonna do. So, you know, the thing I hate with Instagram. Someone told me to have a look at something on Instagram, but like I don't have my account. Like I don't have an Instagram account, so you can look for about 2 seconds and then it starts asking you to create an account. But yeah, we'll go back. What do I want to watch now? Clones. I want to see if there's anything for the clones. So abilities gameplay could be interesting. The stun is going to be, so there's two things I think are going to be really huge for, like, especially for boss fights. The stun, and I'm calling it Stone Skin. I don't think it's called Stone Skin, but I'm calling it Stone Skin until we know, like, the proper name for it. I think this is going to be such a huge skill, because with you being limited on the number of rolls you can do, if you, like, over roll, you can just play it. You could just drop this spell and then tank the hit. I don't know whether, like, you still take damage or if it completely negates the damage. Because if it completely negates the damage, then that is one skill that I'm gonna look to just, like, upgrade as much as I can. So yeah, I've got this as well. I did see this in one of the other trailers, but I don't know whether it's like a complete transformation or it's just like a spell. Because he does, like, if you look, when he turns into the rock Yao Guai, he's, like, able to walk and stuff. Like, he can walk forward and he can walk forward, you can attack. Like, it's a proper transformation. Whereas when he does this, he just kind of turns into him and fires the blast of lightning. And then I'm assuming he turns back to normal after. So it might just be like a random skill you can use to equip. And fighting against the army of heaven. Oh, it's going to be so fun. So obviously you got the cicada form. Got the giant A. See, this is like the upgraded clones, right? Because it goes into like a little kind of cutscene where he pulls the hair out and then blows, and then he gets, like, how many clones is that? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm gonna say there's probably 12 there. Oh, that's a bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10. I just counted wrong. So you get 10 clones. But there is another version where you just get, like, 3 or 4. Oh. Okay. So it didn't show the regular version. I've got no idea what this is. This random video. Oh, Carbot did a friggin'. We're gonna watch this.
You're the killer from Manhattan.
And you must be the launch director.
Fly me to the moon.
I am not turning this ship into a billboard.
It's called selling.
My guys don't have time to film a movie.
It's not rocket science.
Fly me to the moon.
Tiger Vanguard. So true. So true. Oh god. That's how you. That's how we're gonna beat it, isn't it? Man, that was actually a really good animation. I did like that. I don't know why I wasn't subscribed. I saw about Wu Chang as well. That looked like a somewhat decent Souls like. Black Myth 25 minutes. So I want to see the Tiger Vanguard fight. So I think that's going to probably be my favourite fight early on. It's not going to show it, is it? I've got this. I've got the B-roll for that. And it's not in there. Dota 2. Yeah, let's have a quick look at this.
Do you know that Wukong can have 2 clones in a Railjack mission?
Yes.
Press L to open the tactical menu and use Celestial Twins.
I do know that. Thank you for telling me. Yeah, there's a controller as well. They did. It looks really nice. Yo, speaking of nice stuff, I got this the other day. I did like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. The Nota Collections Wukong. I managed to snag one pretty cheap. It's only the standard version. There's like 2 versions, but the standard version's really nice. Oh, good old death battles. Wait, clone can recall. No, that's huge. That is huge. Man. I'm curious what other bosses they're going to include that are from the book. I wonder if we're going to see what was her name? Was it like Bone White Demon or something? And Azure Lion. So that'd be some good fights. I reckon we'll see the Bull Demon King as well. There's a good chance we'll see them. What's this? Oh, that's Final Fantasy, isn't it? Yeah, man. Black Myth Wukong controller. And is there nothing showing the controller? It's a really nice controller as well. It's got like the Black Myth Wukong symbol on it and stuff. They did a event, like a competition recently, and I was hoping I'd not win, but like at least get like one of the runner ups so I could get the controller. So I wouldn't mind one of the controllers. I'd be like, yeah, that'd be perfect. I don't know if I'd use it though. I'd probably treasure it too much. Let me have a look for it. Yes. What's it called? Uh It's a Fly Digi controller, customized one. Fly Digi controller. Apparently they're like really good controllers. All platform controller. Okay. So I could do with a new controller. I ain't even lying. You got like an Apex one. Fly DG. Apex. Vader 2. Damn, they're not cheap either. They're like couple. They're like $150, $180. Damn, that's some top quality controller then. So how does one get the Fly DG controller? So I'm assuming they'll sell them at some point. Um, it is a nice controller though, but what's it? Apex 3. I think it's Apex 3. That's a nice controller. We don't need a controller right now, unless I win. if I somehow get lucky and like win one from the competition, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm happy with that. I was looking at it. Open image in new tab. Oh, I can't zoom in. I tried to zoom in and it's just zooming out. It's just a regular controller by the looks of it. Like, well, not a regular one, but like go to the Twitter a second. Yeah, let's have a look at this. Open image in new tab. Let's zoom into this controller. So, yeah, let's bring it on here. So this is the controller you can win. It's pretty nice. Pretty standard looking, but then you've got like Black Myth Wukong there. You got like the little the title there as well. I think this is like a little animated screen as well. This was the competition I entered between 15th of May and June 23rd. So we find out in 4 days we should find out who the winners are. So I might be lucky and win one. But the first place you get a GeForce RTX 4070 Super graphics card. You get a controller and an official collaboration opportunity with Black Myth Wukong. and a t-shirt, and then everyone else it's like a t-shirt and a controller, and then just a controller. I think there's like eight people can win controllers, something like that. For more details, let me check. So right, so prizes. Yeah, so the first place you get the graphics card, a controller, a t-shirt, and the official collaboration opportunity. Then there's 2 second place winners which get a controller and a t-shirt. There's 3 third place winners that get a controller, and then 1 popularity prize winner will get a controller and a t-shirt. So I'm just hoping I get like a third place. I'd love it, but so many people have entered, so I'm a bit worried that I'm probably not gonna. I mean, realistically, I'm probably not gonna win, but well, I mean, like, if they enjoyed my video, that's the main thing. And then there's sweepstake as well. How to enter. Yeah, it's a nice looking controller, to be fair. I just don't. I mean, I'd like to win one. As much as I'd love to win, like the because I would love the collaboration opportunity, right? But realistically, like, I don't think I will. There's a lot better YouTubers out there and content creators than me that have put in a lot of effort and know the source material better than me. So I don't think I'll win. But it would be nice to at least get like third place or something to get the controller. I'd be happy with that. I mean, if I somehow managed to win, I don't even know if I can use a 4070 in my PC. I think I might have to get another. Well, I don't know if it's viable with my motherboard. I'd have to get my IT guy to have a look. But yeah, we'll find out in a few days. As I said, I'd love to at least get the controller, but if I don't, then I hope they at least enjoyed my videos that I entered. Black Myth Wukong new ability. So I do want to see some. I want to see some like new footage, but like I don't know. I feel like we're not gonna get too much more now because we're literally like it comes out next month, right? Comes out next month on the 20th, so we've got like just over a month before it releases. I don't see us getting too much more information than what we've got. But it would be nice to get like a demo or something, but I just don't see it happening. Right, so let's switch back for a bit. So yeah, I think the controllers might be available after. It's just gonna be like the base versions were like $150, so you're probably looking about that, if not more, for the controller. In fact, not Myth Wukong. There we are. Let's have a quick look at the man, these editions, man, like collectors, like I don't even know if you can get it anymore without it being being like a scalper or something, because they sold out straight away. Because I remember when they came out, the collectors and deluxe edition. I went on to, because it was on Play Asia at first, so I went on to Play Asia to, like, literally, I think it was about 30 minutes or an hour after they released, and I went to go look at the collectors. I was adamant I was getting the deluxe anyway because of the price, and I wanted the constricted headband more. Yeah, you should be able to. You can probably find a replica on like eBay or AliExpress or something now, if that's what you're after. Like I wanted, because I kind of had a look at both, right? And I was like, well, you get the Goldson Crow pin, the Wind Chime, the Thunderstone, in both of them. You get the warranty certificate in both, and the stamps and postcard. You get the steel case in both, and you get like a fancy looking box in both. So the only real difference between the two is you get teachings of the Heart Sutra in the collectors, which is an art piece, and you get Chaos at the Peach Banquet in the other, in the deluxe. And then you either get the constricting headband in the deluxe or the figure in the collectors. Like, the figure's really nice, don't get me wrong, but like I couldn't justify the price, right? Because it was like $300 more to get the figure and the artwork, whereas it was still expensive for this, in my opinion. But it's mainly because like shipping for me was like $100 or something. But I settled I was gonna get at least the collectors, and I'd saved for it anyway, so I was like, yeah, cool. I think the crown will make a nice kind of like display piece as well, whereas like the figure would make a nice display piece as well, but like I think the crown looks better, and I've got like multiple figures, so it's not like it's gonna ruin not having one. I mean, you can probably pick it up at some point in the future on a cheaper scale. So I settled on the deluxe, but when I went to buy the deluxe, the collectors were on the site, but you couldn't buy any. They'd already sold out within like the first half hour when I was looking. So I like brought my deluxe, and I was like, oh, maybe they're coming into stock later. I thought they just hadn't put the stock up yet, but nah, they're just completely sold out. And then after that, it's just scalpers have just been buying them all. So I'm pretty happy I got at least a deluxe. If I had like money to like throw around, then I would have gone for the collectors, but logically the main thing I wanted was the constricting headband. So I was like, why am I gonna buy the collectors when I want the constricting headband anyway? It makes more sense for me to go for this one and take the loss on the figure. Because the figure's nice, don't get me wrong, but like, I mean, I've just brought the Nota one. The Nota one's really good, high quality. I've got other ones that are like still in the packaging and stuff. The one thing I do want to know about, so the Thunderstone ring, Wind Chime necklace, and Goldson Crow pin are all based on items that we can use in the game, right? I think we've seen the chime be used. There's a bit in I think it was the recent gameplay trail, like B-roll they used. He's standing in front of a wall, in front of a cave, and like he uses the chime, and then the chime destroys like the rocks. So I think the chime is going to be like used as some sort of way to like destroy terrain that's blocking the path. I'm curious what the Thunderstone Ring and Goldsun Crow pin are gonna do, because obviously they are like important items in the game, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm happy to get the Constriction headband. It's like it's a 1-for-1 scale. It's bronze, so it's gonna be quite good quality and stuff. Obviously, you got the little bit at the back if you want to wear it and stuff. I got plans to just put it on display. I've got like a little wool homage to Wukong, so I've got like his staff there. I've got some art above it. I'll probably put the other art piece up there as well. But I'll get like a little shelf to stick the headband and the ring and the chime and the pin on. But the problem with the collectors and deluxe is you can pre-order it, which I've done, and you'll get your code on the 20th of August. But but you don't get the actual physical goods until I think it was October is when they're gonna ship it out. It's like October or November they're gonna ship it out. But even like the box itself, like if you look at the artwork on the box itself, it's like very traditional Chinese art. You've got like Wukong in his armor. I think that kind of like ties into the Peach Garden artwork as well. I think what we see here is like an extension onto here. And you just got like all like the Celestials in the garden, and then Wukong just kind of there near the peaches and stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I got not a collector's, a deluxe. Like I said, I'll probably try to get the figure at some point, but I couldn't justify the price difference because like deluxe was like what $200. And collectors was like $400 or $500, something like that. And then with postage, it was like 200 and something for me, $200 and something. It's like I think $250 total, and like for deluxe, it would have been like about 600. So it's quite a jump. And like when the only major difference is like what artwork you get, and then the figure. Like the figure, I don't know. I've heard really good things about the figure. I've seen. I think some people have said there's like a site where. Is this it? Let me have a look. No. Yeah, there's stuff on. Oh, someone's made a custom. What is the figure actually called? Because I think that'll probably find it. There's some. Yeah, pre-sale original official. It's a 1/6 figure as well, so it's quite big. Okay, so you can pre-sale. Okay. Yeah, you can like buy the figure pre-sale and stuff. Let me have a look. Yeah, because there's only 1,000 copies of the deluxe, the collectors as well. So, yeah. I don't know. So he comes with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hands. So 3 pairs and an extra one. You got the staff. You got the gourd that's on his back. Yeah. I mean, it's nice. There's not really anyone that's like selling. What's this? They're selling like the ring, the necklace. Yeah, you can get the crown on AliExpress for like $23, £23, but it's probably not going to be a legit one. It's probably going to be a duplicate. But if you are really after the crown specifically, £23, 23 pence on AliExpress right now. You can pick up the pin, the necklace, and then 2 different sized rings. I don't know how they've got the rings when the different ring sizes when we don't even know what size the ring is gonna be. There's also the Nota Deluxe figure as well. So I'm kind of tempted to get the Nota Deluxe figure, but I got the standard. And realistically, I was like, because I was bidding on it, right, and the standard was like dirt cheap. I think I paid $60 for it, and it normally goes for about 100 or more. I was like, realistically, as much as I'd love to have like the extra accessories and stuff, I'm probably just gonna keep it in the box. And if I take it out of the box, I'm probably gonna put it in like a simple stance. So I don't know. I'd have to headband and gourd are all I really need. So I wouldn't mind a gourd, but like I don't think you can get like a proper gourd for drinking. Let me have a look. Gourd bottle. Nah. Yeah, get you a Stanley cup though. Miyoki cup. That's what it's called in Japan, in AliExpress. See, there's no gourd bottles. I wouldn't mind a gourd bottle because they got like a nice design. Gourd water bottle. Oh, here we are. Natural gourd water bottle, camping, hiking, portable. You got 250 milliliters, 1.5 liters, 350 milliliters, 500 milliliters, 1 liter. I'll probably just get the 1 liter. As long as it's like like you can drink out of it and stuff. You got to be careful with some of them because obviously gourds are like gourds themselves are like they're like a fruit or something, aren't they? And then they have to like or like a seed or something, and they have to clean it out completely so it's safe to drink out of. Yeah, the 1 liter looks about right. 1 liter or the 1.5. Cold drinks only, not hot drinks. Perfect cold drinks. Yeah. So you wouldn't want to put your hot drinks in it. Dried gourd wine bottle. Yeah. There is like a stainless steel one here though. So I could just play it safe and get the stainless steel. 1.5 liter. I think 1.5 liter is probably what I'd get. How much would that be for the 1.5? 30, ooh. £35 though. I'd have to think about that. Here we are chatting about Black Myth Wukong, and I'm like on AliExpress looking at stuff. Nah, I don't know. I wouldn't mind one just for like actual like decoration and stuff. But I'd also want to try and use it at some point, so it'd have to be like one that you can use. So there is a nice like red one here. I don't know, I'm getting too invested into this now. I need to stop. Otherwise I'm gonna be here for ages looking. Right, anyway, yeah. So, where was I? Let's switch back. So yeah, I'm probably gonna call it now. I didn't really want to go too long tonight. I just wanted to have a bit of a chill chat and stuff. So I should be back streaming properly on Thursday. Probably gonna do some Elden Ring invasions, keep it nice and chill. I've kind of been working on my build a bit, so essentially if I use my weapon art and can land the whole thing, there's a very good chance I'm going to one-shot the person I'm hitting, because I've got the rotten winged insignia and the other one you can combo it with. Essentially both of them give you attack damage boosts, while when you like start doing like a lot of hits. And because my weapon art is like a swing into like a bunch of jabs into like a ground stab into like explosion, it will trigger off like the first couple of jabs that I do with the spear. And one of them's like a increase attack power, and then the other one's greatly increased attack power, so they stack. I've also got increased weapon skill damage, so the weapon skill will do more on top. And then the last one, I can't remember what I run. I think I just run something to give me a bit of extra health. But yeah, if I can land that on the main target when I invade, I can essentially just one-shot them usually. So we'll have a bit of a chill Thursday. We'll kill some people in invasions. I have a good bit of fun. And then Friday, I was gonna do some Final Fantasy. I've finished the main story, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing. I do want to level Monk, so it might just be like chilling and doing some duty roulettes and trying to level Monk, but we'll have to wait and see. I've got it to 93, I think, so far. But Monk, essentially, like, once you hit 92, you get most of your upgrades anyway. There's like there's a skill I get at 96 and then a skill I get at 100. And those are like the two follow-on attacks for Riddle of Fire and Riddle of Wind, which is just going to be filler skills. But yeah, they like, as for like the core of Monk, it hasn't really changed too much. But they are also doing adjustments in the next patch, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we'll do that, and then Saturday, I'm taking a break from the Baldur's Gate. I spoke to Cars about it, and I said, like, because we're both kind of playing a lot of Final Fantasy right now because of the expansion. So for them, it's like they're up quite late playing it, and then because of the time zone difference, they're like tired by the time we go to do the stream. And like, I'm kind of the same because I'm up late and then don't really want to get up early to stream. So I've called it off for now for a few weeks until we kind of like chill a bit. So I'll be doing like a regular stream. I've put down 4 p.m. my time for the stream on Saturday, but that might change. I need to like figure out one, I'm not sure what I'm gonna stream because I put variety. And two, like, it might not be 4 o'clock. It could be earlier, it could be later, but that's like the time I've just kind of put down for now. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. A bit different than normal because I don't normally do just chatting streams, but it's been pretty chill. Had a good chat and stuff. But yeah, I will see you on Thursday, and if not, hopefully Friday. But thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye bye.